Right. All right, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. Congratulations on another season at Brown. A little tough one. You didn't make the new Ivy League
Right.
playoff
Right.
series. Talk a little bit about because I've been involved with the Brown men's basketball program since the beginning of time, and I was on the phone with former head coach Happy Dobbs the other week, and we were lamenting, in the days, the glory days of Princeton and Penn. If you lost one of those opening games against Yale, you were pretty much done
Right.
for the season.
Right.
You weren't coming back.
Yeah, this Ivy League tournament's great now because you always, even if you have a tough start to the league, you have something that you're working towards. You have something that you think you can make. Unfortunately for us, we didn't make it this year, but I wish we had it when I was a player. We
Oh,
were in the
God.
top four every year. I was
Yeah,
a player.
that's right.
I was with Earl Hunton this weekend, who's our all-time winning
Right.
scorer, great player here at Brown, and we were saying, man, if they had this when we were here, we'd at least have won one and gone to the
Yeah,
tournament
that's right.
one year. But I went down, I supported our women's team. Our women's team had a great year, and I watched them play, and it was good to be there for them. I stayed a little bit for the men's game, and that was a hard thing to do, Josh,
Yeah, I bet.
because we weren't in it.
Oh, yeah,
But
excruciating.
I think it was good for me. It was really good for me, and I think it'll be good for us going forward. So Ivy League's a great conference, getting better and better.
Yeah. So give me a little prediction. How far can Princeton go?
Good question. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
They're experienced. They're talented. They've got a lot of different answers offensively, and what I think has made them what they are this year is defensively. They've really stepped it up. So
They came back fast. They were not a good program a few years ago.
yeah, so I think this is Mitch's sixth year.
Yeah.
Sidney Johnson had gotten them to the NCAA tournament,
Yeah.
and they've really done a great job the last few years they just have a lot of weapons offensively. They're versatile and they've
Yeah.
got a lot of answers. With that said, Notre Dame's really good, so that'll be a tough matchup for them. But I think Princeton, they won't be overwhelmed from a talent standpoint.
Yeah.
I think they're be able to go toe to toe with Notre Dame, and it'll come down. I think who can take better care of the basketball. Both teams are low turnover teams, and both teams rely a lot on the 3-point shot offense.
How good is Bonzi Colson at
Man, terrific.
a local
St.
kid?
Andrews,
Yeah,
yeah.
St. Andrews, and his father played at URI
Right.
in the glory days. He in that Big East final looked just unbelievable.
Yeah, he is 6'5",
Yeah,
but he
6'5",
plays
center.
like he's 6'11".
Yeah, right.
He's got long arms, and
I'm
he's
sorry,
got
ACC semifinal.
right
Or
ACC,
final,
right.
yeah, right.
But he, what do they say? It's not the size of the dog in the
Yeah.
fight, but the size of the fight in the
He
dog.
dominated that game
Yeah,
on the losing side.
He kind of exemplifies that.
So Ed Cooley has arguably become, on the Mount Rushmore of Providence College great coaches, somewhere after Joe Mulaney and Dave Gavin, or maybe right there with them, and maybe even a little ahead of Rick Pitino with 4 straight NCAAs. But you've had his number a little bit. This has been
Not the last 2 years.
You had a couple great wins, and you almost had another one. Sean missed one from the
Right.
corner. You could have had 3 in a row, I think.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have retired then.
Yeah, that's right.
But 4 straight. When's the last time Providence went to 4 straight NCAA tournaments?
Never in its
Never.
history. No.
Wow.
Yeah. It went 8 straight with Mulaney from 59 to 67 in NCAAs or NITs, and the NIT was sort of
Was
the
big then,
yeah.
yeah.
And Gavin had a similar run, but this is the first time that they've gone 4 straight in their history, and especially in a time where it's a death fight to get in every year, regardless of who you are.
Right. Congratulations to them. No, they've been great, and this year I think is probably as impressive as any year that they're back in it, given
Right.
what they lost last year.
Right.
Two NBA draft picks, Ed and his staff have done a marvelous job. I think they're great at getting their guys better. Their players work hard and get better, and they're great at maximizing what they have. Like, they really put guys in positions to be successful. Yeah.
The old saying was Joe Mulaney, the first week of practice every year, would sit in the stands and just see with a notepad and see what kids were good at. And then he'd build the offense about what they were good at.
Yeah, makes
Right.
sense. Makes sense. You got to know your team, right? Because there's a lot of different ways to play. There's a lot of different ways to
Right.
do things, but you got to do it to put your team in the best position, your players in the best position.
So URI breaks the long drought going back to Jim Herrick and Lamar Odom in 1999, with Lamar hitting a 3-pointer in the Atlantic 10 tournament against Temple to send them in, and then they got bounced in the first game. How's URI?
I think they're terrific. I was so impressed watching them now, seems like ages since we played them. We
Yeah.
played it back in November, but watching them on film leading up to our game, and then just kind of following them, throughout the year. I think Danny's got a really good collection of toughness, experience, athleticism. They're talented, and I've known Danny for a long time. He gets the most out of his guys. They compete like really, really well pretty much every time they step on the floor.
I got to tell you, one of the biggest transformations is you could tell. And did you have an ACL?
I did.
Yeah. So I had an ACL, and it's the confidence. It's
Yeah.
not the rehab. And saw E.C. Matthews a few times beginning of the year. Saw him against Cincinnati and Duke, and he just didn't look not physically off, but just mentally off. Like didn't drive, didn't take it in. He's such a great slasher going left-handed. And now at the end of the year, he looks tremendous taking the ball. We were down at the game against Davidson at URI, and he, in overtime, threw one down that, brought the place down. He's the kind of kid that can carry you for a while.
I think so. I mean, he's a former top 50 high school recruit, I
Yeah.
think, and Jared Terrell. And they've got the talent. I think they can win a couple games in this tournament.
Yeah.
I really do. But Matthews, I agree with you. Like early in the year, he probably wasn't, and it was probably more mental than anything else,
Yeah.
right? Once you get over that hurdle, I mean, obviously he's totally reconstructed, and
Yeah.
he's him turning it on now is the best time for them. He was great this weekend in the A-10 tournament too.
The other thing that looked good were the two young big men look like they actually now contribute. where they didn't necessarily-
Langevine and yeah.
Achille.
Yes,
Yeah.
they've got good pieces there. They've got good depth. And I think they can beat you in a lot of different ways. They're defensively they're great, but I think they can beat you in a lot of different ways.
So talk about Brown a little bit. You lose a couple of longtime starters,
Yeah.
Stephen and Tavon.
Yeah, we lose a great senior class. Steven Spieth, Tavon Blackman, and J.R. Hobby, three senior captains
Yeah.
who kind of all made their mark on the Brown record books from an individual standpoint in different categories. But we've got good young players. I'm really excited about the young guys, our current freshman and sophomore classes. Between Obi Akoli and Brandon Anderson and Joshua Howard, son of Juwan Howard, Travis Fuller, Corey Doherty from Barrington.
Yeah.
So we've got some good pieces. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, from now till next November. But I'm excited and I'm encouraged that we'll continue to get better.
And you come back, PC doesn't lose much this year. URI loses obviously a couple big men, but everybody else is back. Bryant is very young and very talented.
They are.
They've got some kids who can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So that makes a dynamic year in Rhode Island basketball.
Should
next
be
year.
fun. Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be fun.
When's the tournament? When's the Rhode Island tournament?
That's a good question.
Like, it's about time we have a Rhode Island tournament.
We got the Ivy League tournament. You'd
Yeah.
think you could get the Rhode Island tournament, right?
Have it at the Dunk or have it out at URI, and it would be a blast.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it'd be great. We're lucky, Josh. We get to play all three schools anyways.
Right.
Not every. I don't think.
Nobody else
I don't
plays
think
all
anyone
three.
else plays all three. So we're lucky. That's always one of the first things we try to get done on our schedule year in, year out. And we've played some exciting games against the other teams in the state. In the last few years, our Bryant game this year, I think, was 91-90.
That was one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was both teams were terrific offensively that night, and both teams like to play at a fast pace. I mean, Zuzwa can really score, and Grant was the freshman guard. He had a great year. Unfortunately, Naduba, at the end of the game, but he's a terrific player.
Yeah,
and
all
he's gonna have
Yeah.
a great career. So they've got talent. They're young, and Tim is a great coach.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk brackets. What do you see? Who are the surprises? Who did you play in the tournament? So you played URI and PC.
Princeton, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, those
I
four.
like the Cincinnati team. Now, to be honest, Josh, I have not looked at much of the bracket. I'm familiar with it. I watched the show last night. I think Cincinnati, if they win their first game, which won't be an easy one, they've got to play UCLA. So I would have liked Cincinnati to make a run, but I love the kid Ball from UCLA.
Yeah.
I think he can help them make a run. Wichita State was underseeded, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, 10 seed. I think they could give, if they get by Dayton, which Dayton's really good, they could give Kentucky all they can handle in the next round.
Did the seedings matter that much anymore? You look at URI. They beat VCU twice. They're 3 seeds higher than VCU. but you know,
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
I think it's more about matchups, right?
Right.
Like, and I think URI can win a couple games. I mean, Creighton will be tough. Providence. I'm sure Danny and Eddie are talking right now about the Creighton scouting report, but Creighton's battle testing the Big East. But I think URI can win that game, and then I think they maybe Oregon if they win that, and they just lost a kid to injury. So PC plays tomorrow night or Wednesday night?
Wednesday night, I believe, against USC.
Yeah. Who they played last year?
Who they played last year?
And beat.
On a last-second shot.
On the last-second shot. It was a great game, yeah. So that'll be a great challenge for them. But just thrilled for both programs that they're in it, and they'll represent our state well.
How can Princeton run?
They can win a game, absolutely. Yeah. They can beat Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is terrific, and both teams are mirror images of themselves. They do a lot of things similarly well. Notre Dame just does it in the ACC, Princeton in the Ivy League. But I think Princeton, they have a chance. They won't be intimidated. And if they win that, I think they might get West Virginia. Might be that style. I don't know how Princeton will do versus that style, but I think Princeton can win a game. Yeah.
And Higgins is the coach down at West Virginia, right?
Yeah, Bob Huggins.
Yeah, Huggins. And so if the kids don't beat you up, he will.
He might.
Any other your close friends in the coaching ranks that you're kind of cheering for on the side?
Well, I'm rooting for PC and URI. I obviously want to see Princeton do well in our league. John Beeline's a good friend. I always root for him. Happy after they had a scare the other day with their plane, and then they get to DC and they win the tournament. They won 4 straight games to win the Big Ten tournament.
So you know how coaches always follow the new trend. Will coaches now be having emergencies on their flight, pushing the kids out the window to wake them up and inspire them? Right? Will that be the new thing?
Maybe not that, but you know what? It might hurt us because we're always asking for let's get somewhere ahead of time. Let's travel the right way. Michigan left at 6 a.m., had to play a noon game, and they won, and they haven't looked back. So that might charter flights might come to an end for some programs.
Right. Everybody will be trying to stress out their guys and race them in.
You know what? Maybe it took their focus and their stress level off the game a little bit, and they just went out and played. It was
playing for their lives, right?
Yeah, something.
What's the big? Where do you see Rhode Island basketball? The 4 of you, yourself. Where do you see the future? I mean, this is a big year. This is the first time since 1997 we've had 2 schools in. It's not unbelievable that we could have 4 teams in. In the near future.
Well, especially with Ed and Danny doing what they're doing at PC and URI, I think they're going to be in the conversation. They're going to be a good bet to be in the tournament every year. I don't want to take it for granted because I know how it's so hard to get to the NCAA tournament, and I think fans around here, especially PC fans, have been spoiled with what Ed has done. But they're going to be in the conversation every year. We've got work to do. Bryant, they've got a great talent, great young roster. They can make a move in the NEC.
That league every year looks like almost anybody could win it on any given year.
I agree.
Top to bottom, they're all pretty much mirrors of one another.
Yeah, and I think Bryant has reason to be optimistic they can get in there. And we've got work to do, but I think we can do it. We've got to get the guys we have better. We've got to continue to recruit good players, and then if we can get to the Ivy League tournament, you got to win 2 games to get to the NCAA. So.
Last question. You've got kids coming in next year. Are you allowed to talk about them yet?
So
or are you under the Ivy League cone of silence?
We're under the cone of silence right now. I can tell you we have 5 young men that are committed to Brown.
Excellent.
They cover almost every position. We've got great athleticism coming in. We've got size coming in, which we need. So I'm excited. I think it'll be an impact freshman class. And in a month or 2, I can probably talk specifically.
That'd be great.
Each guy.
So hopefully we can have you back over these next couple of weeks.
That'd be great.
And really appreciate you coming downtown. You got off College Hill, came all the way downtown.
Long walk for me.
It is a big, long walk. Congratulations.
Thanks, Josh.
And we'll talk soon.